Hello, I'm Jane Seward. In this segment of Magic Spell, Sam and I are going to share a secret with you about words that start with the letters C and K. Okay, good job, Sam. He's already with me on this. Now, when children are writing expressively, such as maybe they would be writing a note or a message, maybe a special letter to grandma, or even working on a spelling list, they'll hear many words that begin with the sound K. And remember, when we're spelling and we don't know how to spell the word, we don't have it in our visual memory, then we have to listen for the sounds in the word. Okay, so watch now as Sam and I share a little bit of information that makes spelling seem like magic. All right, Sam. When I think about words that start with the sound K, I'm thinking about words like cat. Okay, do you hear K at the beginning of cat? I'm thinking about the word cot. That might be something you would sleep on if you went camping.
Cot? What's
Yeah.
a cot?
Oh, it's a bed. It's a fold-up bed that you would use in a tent. We don't
Oh.
use. You know what that is now, don't you? A cot,
Like
yeah.
a couch.
Exactly, exactly. I'm thinking about the word cub, like a little bear, a cub. All right.
Or cougar.
Okay, all right. I'm thinking about the word cup, like a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or something like that. I'm also thinking
duck.
about the word that starts with the D sound, but you're right. I'm thinking about the word clap, clap. In all of those words, Sam, we heard the sound K at the beginning of the word. All right? Now, Sam, what two letters spell the K sound? Do you remember? There's two letters in our alphabet that spell the K sound. The letter C and the letter, do you remember? The letter K. Does the letter K spell the K sound? Okay, so we have two letters that spell the K sound. Now, do you know what kids your age a lot of times ask? They'll say, do I use a C or a K? All right? Well, here's the secret we want to share with them. All right, I'm going to show you. Actually, I'm going to move this for just a minute, Sam, okay? And I'm going to show you. Yeah, this is a big book of words, isn't it? All right, this is a dictionary. Now, I want you to notice. I want you to notice.
I'm not going to read it.
No, you don't have to read all of it. I don't think I want to read it all either. Look at all the pages of the words that start with C. Are there quite a few there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's quite a few there. Now,
Are we going to
Sam.
read the dog one?
No, we're not going to read it.
Man.
No. Now, look at the pages that start with the words that start with the letter K. Are there very many there? Or are there just a few? Look right here, Sam. Are there just a few here? Really, there's just like 3 pages that start with the letter K.
Yeah.
So in the dictionary,
Kangaroo doesn't start with a K.
yeah, it does,
Oh, it
but
doesn't.
but not very many words do. So if we had to think about, Sam, which was more common, do we start more words with the letter C, or do we start more words with the letter K?
C.
C is way more common, all right? So most words, when you hear K at the beginning of the word, start with the letter C. And that's the secret that we want to share with parents today, is that C is more common. So let's take a peek at words, all right, that start with the letter C. If you want to write some of these with me, you can, all right? I'm thinking of that word clap, okay? So you spell that with me. I hear the K.
C.
Remember, C is more common, so we're going to spell it with a C. All right, ul, a, p. You know how to spell that sound, don't you? All right, we just spelled clap, didn't we? Now, I'm thinking of the word cup. What do you hear at the beginning of cup? What sound was that? Cup. You heard the K sound? K. All right, we're going to spell that with the letter C. And then we heard ka, and then we heard p.
After C comes.
That's okay, yeah. We heard the sound next. And parents, notice how I'm helping Sam to listen for the sounds in the word rather
There's
than,
never going to be a K in one.
oh, just wait, we're getting there. Rather than telling him just how to spell the word with letters. Okay, it's very important for children who are Sam's age to listen for the sounds in the word. Okay, and now put that last sound. All right, now Sam, I'm thinking about the word. Remember we talked about the word cot, something you would use if you went camping in a tent. All right, we hear k. Remember, I heard you say it. We heard that at the beginning of the word.
Ma'am.
Okay, then, it's still, C's still more common. Okay, way more words start with C. All right, the next sound is ah, ca. Now, what did you hear at the end of cot? Good job. Spell that letter. Okay, so far we have 3 words that start with the letter C because we are finding
we're gonna
out.
get to a car.
Let's check. I'm thinking of the word kid.
Okay.
Samuel is a kid. All right. Now,
But my sister's not a kid.
what's the first sound in the word kid? K. Now, in this one, Sam, you can start a new column. For that word, we use the letter K. Okay, now parents, this is something I would just tell my child. Here again, if he guessed the letter C, I would just say, you're right, most of the time we use the letter C, but in this word we use the letter K. Okay, what came after the K in kid? Did you hear the I sound? Kid. We spell that with the letter I, don't we? And what's the last sound in kid? Good job. You knew that, didn't you? Good job. We have the word kid. So, this is the way...
Can we erase kid?
You can erase it if you want to. This is the way lists look, parents. If you were to make a list of words that began with the letter C versus words that begin with the letter K, your list of C words are going to be much, much longer. So in other words, not that we encourage children to guess, but if Sam had to guess which one to use, we would want him to use the letter C because it is more common. Now, as he gets a little older, we can actually teach him a way to know whether or not to use C or K. But right now, that would be a little bit too much information. So we're not going to go in that direction on this episode of Magic Spell. We'll do that a little bit later on. Sam, you did a great job with words that start with C or K. Now, Sam, help remind parents once again, which is more common?
C.
Right, the
That
letter...
means we can erase the C's.
You can erase the C's, all right? In fact, I'm going to erase all mine as well. Thank you again for tuning into this episode of Magic Spell.